6 months on a GLP-1. What it's been like for me, how much weight I've lost, pros and cons. Let's talk about it. Hello friends, my name's Kristen and I have been using Zepbound to lose weight. So as usual, the front of my videos, I like to put my weight loss stats so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Even though I guess that would benefit me for you to watch the whole thing, but I don't make any money off this, so I don't really care. If some of you have been with me so far, you all know that I started this journey at 205. And now, as of today, I am 161. I never thought I would be able to lose weight, so I'm pretty happy to be here. Okay. But yeah, 161 is a big deal. Now that's only 2 pounds if you watch my last video, but I'm purposely have been increasing my calories to go from losing 2 pounds a week to just 1 pound. I'm trying to build muscle, so I'm not trying to I don't have that much weight left to lose in my opinion. And right now it's less about weight loss and more about trying to rebuild the ass that I lost, folks. Okay. Ozempic booty. Hail. Send hail. Trying on clothes has been really fun lately. I think that it's funny because I always pick the craziest, wackiest thing. I don't know why. I love this little number. Honestly, this little Clueless number, it's what it reminded me of. Where the hell am I going to wear that? I don't go to clubs anymore. I'm 38. I don't go anywhere where I can wear this. It's not like I live in LA and everybody's already dressed to the nines. You know, I don't do art shows anymore, not lately. So I don't have anywhere to wear something like that. Go to Target in my best Clueless outfit. By the way, why did we never get the Cher's Closet technology? I'm sure people have spoken about that, but I would love to have that. I have a hard time picking basics. I pick a lot of statement pieces that I can't wear literally anywhere. And I just donated a bunch of my bigger clothes. They were all statement pieces. Okay. All of them. If you do that, please drop a high heel shoe down in the comments. Okay. Drop a high heel. I also want to talk about women's sizing. In this dress right here is a size 6, but I also tried on a size 6 in another brand and look how this thing barely fits me. You know what I mean? Women's sizing so messed up. Men have it so easy. They're just I'm a size 32. Okay, that works. What, these pants are blue? All right. You know what I mean? I'm 5'7", 5'8". My size was about a 12 to 14, usually XL clothing. I was in between that XL, XXL. Plus size was just a little bit too big. And funny enough, before this started, I had bought a ton, when Victoria's Secret and Pink have their semi-annual sale. I love their underwear. They're great for chunkier people. I bought a crap ton of XL underwear, a bunch, because I was hell yeah, I had big bras. And now none of those things fit. I have a sag ass going on with the underwear. Have I bought new underwear yet? No. But I bought so many pairs of them, I didn't want to throw them away. So now I'm fitting into a size medium or a dress size 6 in women's, 6 to 8. 6 is a little tight, but I am fitting into that. And I don't think I've ever been a size 6, maybe when I was the age of 6. I have no idea. I was a very chunky kid. I do feel comfortable around this size. Am I still technically overweight? Yes, but now I just need to tone up a little bit. Now, does that mean I'm going to go on possible maintenance? I'm not sure yet. I don't see myself coming off this drug anytime soon. As you know, statistically, about 70% of people gain their weight back after the drug is done, or they'll quickly gain 10 pounds right off the bat because it is reducing inflammation. If you have inflammatory problems, that inflammation will return and cause water retention and all that from Dr. Kristen. Just kidding. Not a doctor. Okay. So I'm going to show you a couple before and afters for my full 6 months here. And I'm not saying my journey here is coming to an end. It's not even close to done. I have so much work to do, inner and outer work to do before I can come off this. If I choose to, I just don't see myself coming off it anytime soon. So let's talk some positives and negatives. Okay. Let's talk positives first. Keep this upbeat. Some good habits I've developed over time here. I definitely eat a lot more protein. I'm not snacking anymore. I've broken a lot of these routines that I had where I would late at night, I'd get off work. I work about sometimes 11 to 11 or 12 to 10 or 1 to 10. My schedule varies because I work at an airport bar. After work, I would come home and eat with my boyfriend. And we usually would have if we didn't want to go out to eat, a California Pizza Kitchen pizza, barbecue chicken pizza. I would eat half of that. And then whatever snacks, usually Trader Joe's those like pretzel nuggets. I would down a bunch of those because they're really easy to eat. They're crunchy and satisfying. Okay. And then I would have, like, let's say we got some Uncrustables sandwiches. I would eat 2 out of the 4 pack of Uncrustables. He'd eat the other half. Or if we had a pack of mochi ice cream from Trader Joe's, my favorite. Those are my favorite. Although, like, I haven't had those in a while, but you get 6 in a pack. I would eat 3 right off the bat for no other reason that I would eat the whole pack if he wasn't here, honestly. So what I also like, positive change, another positive change for me, like before, after I ate everything I ate, I felt tired after everything I ate. I felt guilty. I felt depressed, and that was literally anything. And I would just constantly be thinking about how tomorrow I had to do better. I don't think like that anymore. I look forward to meals now, like, but I don't think about them so much. They're not like taking up every space of my life.
I have zest and appetite, and I like food. I've been lying awake in there thinking about food, and now I'm gonna have it.
And is a very complicated and serious thing. It's probably some primal thing that we have buried deep in us that gets activated, you know, in certain people, in certain situations with certain things. Also, joint pain completely disappeared still, and that has been a big deal for me. It's another reason I don't want to go off the medication entirely, because I used to wake up with stiff feet and my back hurt and stuff like that. My only real fear is, like, I have a couple fears, okay? One, that I'll become the person that I was before if I go off this medication, because the return. I feel like before this started for me, I felt like there are certain things I wouldn't do. I didn't want to go out anymore. I felt embarrassed to see people I hadn't seen in a long time. I was avoiding people. I wasn't happy at work. I'm still not happy at work, but that's for separate reasons. There's little Hachi again, my little co-host. I was miserable to be around. I was no fun. I was just sucked into my phone all day. I just didn't want to go anywhere or do anything. And basically over the past decade, I've just become a shell of who I was. And I know it may not seem that serious because it's just weight gain, right? But it's like so much more than that. It's like how you face the world, how people treat you, how you feel about yourself. And I don't know, some of my coworkers didn't believe me when I said that people treated me better. My tables at work are treating me better. They're like, no, they don't. And I'm like, I've been heavy my whole life. And that's something I've always noticed. In times when I was smaller, strangers were a lot nicer to me. And for me, that's just the truth of the matter. You know, I get a lot more male attention now, whether wanted or not. That's debatable. But I'm always flattered. I don't want to be that person anymore. And I just felt so lost, pathetic, a lot of self-hatred for not being able to get it under control. And 2, being in pain all the time. And 3, okay, there's 3 fears. Sorry. Long-term side effects of this medication. This med was studied for quite some time, pretty sure over 20 years. But we don't know, like 30, 40 years of someone taking something with this medication, what it will do to you. I know somebody who's been on this medication for over 5 years and they take it once a month now, or they take it whenever they feel like they've lost control. He's had no problems at all. Him and his partner have had 0 problems, both of them. And I see people who take the drug for 6 months and have to have their gallbladders removed. I was saying in one of my last videos that when you're on this GLP-1 and you eat food, I enjoy food more, but it doesn't give you the same hit, like dopamine hit, as it did before. It's inhibiting some things. So it takes like the joy out of eating. It's no longer like a huge vice, but I feel less guilty for eating it. I enjoy it more because I feel less guilty for eating it, if that makes sense. And I think I say that in my first month video, and that is still true for me. So some other positives is I recently went on a trip to Florida, and I noticed usually when you're walking down a plane aisle, I would have to go like this before. If I was like walking down the aisle, I would be like this, trying not to bump into anybody. And I didn't have to do that this time. I didn't have to hold my arms so close to me. My arm flaps weren't like smacking anybody in the face. You know what I mean? Ow, I hit myself too hard. I also noticed I could cross my legs comfortably on the plane, and it wasn't a big deal. My legs also did not swell when I was on the plane. Usually I was having to wear compression socks on planes or when I traveled, but my legs and ankles did not swell up, and that is a big deal to me. I also could fit in the bathroom a lot easier. Those plane bathrooms are made for like half-size people, not for 200 plus pound, 5'7", 5'8" people and above. You feel cramped in there, but I didn't feel cramped in there this time. And that was was cool. Usually when I'm on a plane, my legs are usually touching the woman next to me and the woman next to me. And I choose to sit next to women because they're not going to be weird, hopefully. And so legs always touching. And that's just something I got used to. And that didn't happen this time. So that was pretty exciting for me. I do a lot less secret eating. I'm not like doing these like routines everywhere I would go. And I've mentioned this in one of my last videos. I had a snack to get whatever store I went to. At Target, I would get those like 300 calorie freaking perfect bars that are real tasty and an Olipop cream soda. And if I went to another store called Mom's Organic Market, it's here on the East Coast, then I would get this really delicious like farm raised goat cheese stick, and I would get a perfect bar and something else, usually a Tony's chocolate, little mini chocolates. I did that all the time. And chocolate is one thing I have not been indulging in pretty much the past 6 months. Like I do eat chocolate with my protein bars, right? I eat Barbell's bars. They have chocolate on the outside, but I haven't eaten like a full chocolate bar in forever, up until the other day. And it wasn't even a full chocolate bar. My boyfriend has clients. He's a massage therapist. This one lady, she had just come back from Sweden or Switzerland and brought these little chocolates. They were really small. I had 2 of them out of this entire box. She went to some retreat where it's like $10,000 and you're like body scanned or something. If I find out the name of it, I will let you know. Not that I could afford something like that. I would love to do that, like for the channel, be like $10,000 to waste on a 1-week spa retreat. Or I think it was 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure of the details, but she gave us a box of chocolate, or she gave him a box of chocolates. And these taste like Cadbury chocolates, but it's probably the first time I realized that I had any chocolate, like straight up, just a little piece of chocolate. And I didn't want any more after that, after those 2 pieces. And that is a huge deal for me because I no longer need to eat 2 of everything. Well, I ate 2 of those, but I mean like I would have a granola bar. I always had to have 2 or 3 or the whole box, or I could never just have 1 of anything. 2 little tiny candies like that big, I'm not going to freak out about. But if they were 2 full-size chocolate bars, yeah, I would eat the whole thing, you know, and that's been a huge positive for me that I don't need to like secret eat, crush food, try and eat the food before somebody else does. That's been like a recurring theme for me in my life. So negatives, obviously people are negative. People are sick of hearing about all this in my real life. You know, I've mentioned that in other videos. I'm very chatty, obviously. I started this channel so I could connect with other people who wanted to talk about this. Oh, and I think in my 3 or 4 month video, I mentioned my coworker who had started taking the drug, her stomach was hurting, and I blamed it on the chicken tenders, you know, because I'm ignorant, obviously. She is pregnant and she didn't know, but right as when she was starting the GLP-1, she got pregnant. So she had to go off it. And honestly, she's had really bad pregnancy sickness. I don't know what the side effects are of somebody being pregnant on a GLP-1, but she was taking the drug for 2 months and she was pregnant the entire time. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But she has lost weight on accident because she's been so sick from her pregnancy, and she stopped taking the GLP-1 as soon as she found out. So yeah, that's probably why her stomach hurt. Sorry. Me being a know-it-all again. And yes, I have more cats. This is Phoebe. They're always being little, you know, menaces all the time. But yeah, I mostly want to thank you all for being so wonderful. This has been a good outlet for me. It's been a way for me to talk about things I'm interested in. And I appreciate every single one of you that has been so positive. Because in my real life, I face a lot of negatives, but I'm used to negativity. Like, you know, I'm used to that because when you live in an alternative like spectrum of like art, music, a person that dresses kind of wacky. My very first job was at Hot Topic. I know you guys thought I was cool before, but now you know that I'm really cool. I worked at Hot Topic in the early 2000s when it was actually cool. Okay. I was queen of the goth, and I'll show you a little picture of what I looked like right here. Cyber goth was really in at the time. Anyway, so when you live in that kind of, and you're kind of a weird, outspoken person, annoying person is what I'd like to call myself. Okay. Or so others have called me. If you're someone who likes to gossip, you're annoying. You know, I'm very funny. So like people like me because I'm funny, but I'm nonstop joking. Like everything's a joke to me. Because in my opinion, we're all going to die anyway. So like whatever. But I mean, I can be serious when it calls for it, but it would really have to matter. I mean, funny all the time. I put the fun in funeral, honey. Okay. So like when you're that type of person and you talk about things that most people shouldn't talk about, like GLP-1 GLP-1s, weight loss, vanity. I talk about my looks a lot. I talk about trying on clothing a lot. My coworkers tell me I look like I've lost too much weight, things like that. Since I am that way, and I talk about all my issues, everything, I talk about my family, like I'm just that way. You know what I mean? Can't keep a secret, I guess. Bad, I know. But my own secrets, other people's, yes. My own, no. When you're that way, you kind of invite a lot of negativity. I'm not saying I'm blaming myself for all that, but I have to take responsibility for that sort of thing. Now, how you deal with negativity in your day-to-day life says a lot about you. Honestly, working at the airport, living in an alternative like space or lifestyle, I used to do art shows all the time. I probably did an art show like once a month, once every 2 months. And I had to learn to take criticism, even when it hurt, even with something you put a lot of time into. But working at the airport and doing art shows and just living in this like space where people always thought I was super annoying. And a lot of that has to do with my ADHD as well, which I didn't realize. Before I talked about that in this video. Beep. So when you're like that, you kind of have to be self-aware. I mean, like, yeah, you could modify your behavior if you want to keep people around, but I can't stop being who I am for other people. And if they want to stick around, they can. But how you deal with that negativity, it's like, I don't snap back at people unless they're outright like being rude. I don't think most people are trying to be rude. You don't need to be offended by every little thing people say. If that were the case, it's going to be a long life, honey. Okay. If I got upset and cried over every little thing, it's going to be long. It's going to feel long and sad. Okay. I can't say that things don't hurt me at times, but I just kind of get over it. And because I'm to food, or not as many people have much sympathy for that. It's so ironic. It's like, because you are to food, right? And you think about it nonstop and you want to eat constantly, but people tell you you're ridiculous for that you don't need to take a GLP-1 for that. And maybe if I told them I had a problem with like or doing, they would take me more seriously, but those people don't get treated well either. People act like I'm ridiculous for even mentioning that I'm a food, or they just chalk it up to willpower. But once again, no empathy. Those people can't understand. They don't understand. And that's fine. They don't need to. It's none of their business. And it's really none of your business what they think of you. If somebody told you they went on a drug to stop drinking, like because they were not alcoholic, how would you feel? Would you be as judgmental about it as somebody who says they're addicted to food? Because they would tell you you're ridiculous, right? Those people would tell you you're absolutely ridiculous. I know a lot of people who have drinking problems. If you work at a restaurant and a bar, you meet people all the time. For the past 20 years of me waiting tables and bartending, those people usually have a drink problem. And even those people have been judgmental about people taking GLP-1s, which is crazy, right? But they can't see the forest for the trees. They can't see, the similarity between the two. When I'm talking to a girl I know who has this problem, the similarity between her and I's problem, I can kind of compare certain things. The only issue is like the food's making me act in a certain way, but it's not getting me in I'm not gonna get in trouble for eating while driving and things like that. So yeah, obviously it's more dangerous to do those other things. I think food addiction is more of a much slower death. Much, much slower, can go on for decades and decades. But I guess so can drink and use, but it's like, it seems nobody will know. They'll just know that you're heavy, or what will be the first sign to other people that you have a problem. I'm going to Disney World again because I run a second travel channel, and we're going to this pirate bar called the Beacon Barrel. So hopefully that'll be fun. If you guys want to see what I eat while I'm down there, I'm only going to be down there for 3 days. I can try and record everything I eat, but usually I just split food with my partner. It's expensive. And your girl does not have that much money because I'm spending it all on Zepbound, okay? It's still $3.49 a month for the vials. Oh my gosh. Another creator on here was feeling sad because in the UK, the prices have gone up. So I was like, how much is it? I don't know what the average salary is for a person in the UK. I actually have dual citizenship in the UK. My mother's from England. She's from Newcastle, England. I don't know what the average salary is there, but they said it was £200 for the lowest dose with the vials, I guess. And that equates to about, I think, $270 US. And I was like, dang, I'm paying $350 US, but on average, I'm not sure if we make more money than them. It doesn't seem like it because we have a huge poverty problem in the US. US, especially in the areas that I live in. We live in Maryland, DC. There's a huge disparity between the super rich and super poor. There's not much of like a middle class, or the middle class is slowly disappearing. So he was feeling sad because it's like, yes, most people couldn't afford $350 a month. I don't have any children. I live in a low income like type of area with bars on my window. So I have been priced out of a lot of things, and people are traveling less because they don't have as much money. So like my job's been slow because of that. I don't know what the average salary in the UK is, but this poor man was just so depressed that he said, well, maybe I could afford it this month, but could I afford it again? I don't know what dose he's on. It's probably a higher dose. He's like, but could I keep going? Like, yeah, this month, but I can't. So I'm going to link him right here. And he has a thing called Buy Me a Coffee. I don't know if you've ever seen those. Kind of like an alternative to Patreon on here. And you can donate to his Buy Me a Coffee. I don't know how much that'll help, but he seems like a nice guy. And I would hate to see someone have to go off of it just because of cost. And that is, medication cost is crazy. I know these companies are making money hand over fist. I actually recently saw that Costco will be offering Wegovy and Ozempic at cheaper prices because Novo Nordisk, which is who owns, Ozempic and stuff, because it all comes down to money, they struck a deal with Costco. And people in the comments were like, give the people what they want. Give them Zepbound and Mounjaro, honey. And I agree. Like, I don't have a Costco card. I don't really buy stuff in bulk. I definitely haven't been buying as much food, so I guess I don't need a bulk food. I would love that, but it's just, we're a long way away from that at the moment because Zepbound and Mounjaro are more popular. Insurance companies aren't covering it as much as they are Ozempic and Wegovy. More people can get covered for that because it's like $150 now. That's a lot cheaper. That's a lot more affordable, but people do face more side effects, less weight loss, more problems on that one for some reason. And so I guess we're all just waiting for Retrotrutide to come out so it'll lower the price of Zepbound. But until then, I squirrel away about $80 something a week since I work 4 days a week, and then I make cash tips. So I'll squirrel away like $80 in 1 week, about $20 4 times a week. And then by the time my medication rolls around, I can pay for that again. Not everybody has that option though. Like not everybody makes cash tips where the taxes don't all get taken out. I've always kept my cost of living low. And in fact, if I didn't have a boyfriend and pets, honestly, because I'm a crazy person, I always thought I was going to live like a nomad, like in a car or something when I was younger. Now I don't think my back could handle that, honey. I'm getting too old for that. But I always wanted to like live very low means not homeless or anything, but like live tiny. Remember when the tiny houses were all big? When I was like 18, my mom wanted to send me to Mexico to learn how to build something called a cob house, which are some of the oldest standing buildings on earth. And they kind of can withstand earthquakes. She built them out of clay and stuff like that. I always thought, and I'm going to show you a couple pictures of this right here. I always thought that I would live in one of those, but buying property in the US, safety and security is a whole thing. I couldn't just plop a cob house in the middle of like a neighborhood. I always wanted to live small, but then I got a boyfriend and, I don't think he wants to live in a dirt house. So, oh my God, life is so hard, guys. But I always wanted to like keep my cost of living really low. So, but I will spend the money on this because to me, this has changed my entire life. So my advice, if you're going to be starting this, I'm not sure why you clicked on the video, but take things slowly. You don't want to lose weight too quickly. It is awesome to drop like 44 pounds like that. Without doing much besides not snacking anymore. I eat high protein meals. I take vitamin D just in case. I also take like biotin and stuff like that, and B12 for people who are like having constipation and stuff. I use Mama Chia, these little chia seed things. People, you can get chia seeds and mix them in whatever you want, but I'm like so lazy, guys. I'm so lazy. So let's go over everything. Did I lose my ass? Yes. Boo. Okay. I hate that I felt my butt bones for the first time ever. I used to have like, what's that song where it's like, great googly moogly, that thing's juicy. Like I always had that my whole life. I've never sat somewhere and felt my sacrum or like my butt bones before. And that has been a huge adjustment that I do not like. So we're on Project Build-A-Butt 101. Okay. Can I fit into a plain bathroom better? Yes. Okay. So I lost my butt, but I can fit into a plain bathroom. Do I still snack? No, not really. I mean, not really. I like snacks, but I eat more meals now. I no longer feel guilty for eating. I no longer feel completely controlled by food. That has been a huge change for me. And I can't tell you, there were moments I was having a bit of like an identity crisis the past 6 months where like, who am I without this entity of like control? Like, who am I? Who was I before? Do I want to be that person again? Who was I underneath all of this? Who will I become if I stay like this? I was having a little bit like, who the hell am I? My body's changed a lot. A lot of people aren't starting this drug till over the age of 40. So like their bodies have changed a lot. They go to try on clothes. What is my style? I was like hiding in black clothing. Even though I said I worked at Hot Topic, I was just hiding in underneath a lot of black clothing all the time. But we do wear a lot of dark clothes here on the East Coast because we're all depressed, blue collar working, but also really cool. But yeah, asking myself, who am I? Who do I want to be? And I feel hopeful, but I was having a little identity crisis. And I mentioned like the sadness that I was feeling for feeling guilty for what I've done to myself, which I mentioned in my 5-month video. So if you want to watch those, please feel free. I am still picking at fries at work. I know, bad girl. But, you know, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. It's like, I eat such a small amount now. I used to just eat them all day. It's like, I probably eat like a couple, like 10. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my 6-month review of GLP-1, of Zepbound, specifically tirzepatide. I'm staying on the 2.5 milligram dose. You guys have been all so wonderful. What are we dropping today? What's our emoji? Since I was talking about being funny earlier. Drop a clown emoji in the comments. So I know you made it this far into the video. Thank you to every single one of you for all your positivity, your motivation, just the support that I felt from you all has just been great. I'm so glad that I have people to talk to about this, and please talk to me below. If you've tried tirzepatide or Zepbound or Mounjaro, please put your experiences below. I'm all for it. What are things that you don't eat anymore since you started a GLP-1, if you have? That's all for me today of my yammering. Let's see how long this video will be. I got asked to do like an interview, but my issue is like with interviews, and I said yes, but like I say so much crazy stuff. I'm constantly offending people all the time. Like I'm just saying stuff off the cuff constantly, and I have to go in and like edit so many things out before I get canceled or something because I just say so much stuff where you're like, okay, well, why did I say that? Oh my God, like I need to be edited. If I'm in an interview with someone, I just say some crazy shit and then I have to like backtrack, or like I'm not always getting my facts straight, so sometimes I have to like correct myself when I go in editing. Oh my gosh, guys, I don't know if I could do it. I would like to interview some people on here who have been on the drug. Anyway, that's all for me. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you next month. I am going to do a skincare video. I've been doing a lot more research. Okay. That's coming up on how to take care of your skin while you're losing weight, or just in general. But thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.